Why is he so smart?
Damn it, Wesley. He's gonna destroy the ship again.
I wonder if they wanted John Malkovich for that guy's role. He sounds just like him. Give me less expensive John Malkovich.
I want to see more, you know, weird thought stuff.
Nah, you just get just enough to get the idea down. Where no man, nope. Where no woman, nope. Where no one has gone before. Interesting title. Very interesting.
Yeah, the show has had a knack for taking titles of episodes and just changing one word thus far with The Naked Now and now with Where No One Has Gone Before. We'll see if that continues.
What a ripoff.
I don't know if it really it makes sense for the title because of what happens in this episode. But I mean, Where No Man Has Gone Before, the second pilot of TOS, that's high up there in terms of not one of my favorite episodes, but an iconic status. And I don't know if this episode lives up to that iconic status, but we finally got to see another dick from Starfleet. I say finally, it hasn't been that long.
Well, I hoped it'd be coming. I mean, we get like mentions of like a couple other ships, and then we see this guy. It's like, oh god, here we go. It took me back to classic Star Trek in a different way. It's like a lot of like warm throwbacks. I mean, this guy wasn't warm at all, but you know what I mean. But also this episode felt very different in some aspects, very unique. And I'm like, oh, I like this. Where's this going? I don't know where this is going. I'm asking questions in my mind.
I thought that I could telegraph where this episode was going, and then I couldn't. And that's happened several times already watching the show, which I appreciate. You know, we had a knack for calling things in TOS, and thus far, I haven't been able to get that grasp yet on this show of what's going to happen. It's keeping me guessing, and this episode did the same thing. So I really appreciated that.
And that's refreshing for a show from 1987, so.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to jump into the reaction, guys. If you want to watch the show in full along with us, check that out on our Patreon. You can sync up your own copy and watch our full uncut reaction. But we'll see you guys on the other side for our full thoughts on the episode, as well as our patrons' takes, thoughts, and questions for us about Where No One Has Gone Before. So we'll see you on the other side.
Captain's log, stardate 41263.1. We have rendezvoused with the USS Fearless.
I like that name, Fearless.
I'll ask Counselor Troy to look these visitors over.
Very good.
Yeah, I wonder if, you know, last episode was like, oh, they're hiding their emotions. It's like, all right, that was just a way to get her out of, you know, her power out of the episode.
I was thinking about that. Like, they have to, like, go through the list of, you know, people are going to ask the same questions if they knock them all out right away, you know?
Welcome aboard, Mr. Kaczynski.
Uh-oh. Someone from Starfleet.
You're from Tau Alpha C. That's very distant.
All approved and described in the Starfleet communication.
Immediately a dick. Some things never change.
No matter how advanced humanity gets, assholes.
It's also very weird to see the uniform without the insignia on it, because like, he's not wearing one, that guy, so it's just like blank yellow. Kind of weird looking.
With most life forms, I can usually feel something. I may not be able to understand or interpret it, but I feel something, if only a presence.
Well, you were useless last episode, so figure it out.
Yeah, and I guarantee that is not the only time she will say that in this series. I don't feel anything.
It's almost like they pigeonholed themselves, her having those abilities. I'm like, oh, we have to address it every episode now.
Yeah.
Shit!
It's like, it was your choice, dude. You wrote it.
I'm still in the habit of going like this for the... I keep forgetting that's not it anymore.
Will Will Wheaton be back?
I don't think many people ask that question. Where no man has gone before. How about that?
Well, it was no one. Not even just man. No one.
You said, what's going on? This doesn't work. Kozinski's a fraud. You see, I have had this conversation on other Starfleet vessels before.
I can at least understand him there. Every time I come on, they say it didn't do anything.
This warp drive system has been tuned only in the grossest possible sense, at least according to my standards. What I do is specific. To say for now that these symbols and their relationship...
Something troubles you with the way this is configured?
Nice little touch.
You can hear him talking, yeah.
Now will it do what Kozinski says it will?
It has a chance. It might work better this way.
Damn it, Wesley. He's gonna destroy the ship again.
You are trained in the system. You go in a straight line,
Oh,
confident,
his face,
yes,
he's
perhaps
pissed.
even innovative in a minimalist sort of way.
I have no time to be a teacher, but let me teach you this whole thing.
Yeah.
How could it? It's meaningless.
Then we should let him try it.
What do you mean let him try it? Don't talk about me in the third person as if I'm not standing right here.
He has some valid complaints.
I calculate that at maximum warp, sir, it would take over 300 years to get home.
Well, Data will be fine. I'm assuming he doesn't age.
He'll make it.
Just needs maintenance.
Which traveling subspace they should receive in 51 years, 10 months, 9 weeks, 16 days.
Mr. Data.
Sir?
Why is he so smug?
It would be pretty wild, though. Imagine if they never got back or whatever, and then Starfleet, like, they just disappeared. Starfleet didn't know what happened, and then in 51 years, they just received that message. That'd be pretty mind-blowing.
I just thought the formula you were using said something like that.
Boy, don't ever say that again.
All right, how about you back up a little bit
Yeah,
there?
this whole relationship is creeping me out.
And he didn't even say anything that profound. Like, space and time are different than we think. Don't ever say that again.
This isn't working.
Yeah, Leslie's sitting.
Riding a horse. Is anyone else seeing this? Quick, we have to get to the 1955 dance so George McFly can kiss,
Oh, stop.
Answering all stop, Captain.
We went even further out.
Our present position puts us at over 1 billion light years from our galaxy.
So they did go farther out.
Yeah.
Jesus. 1 billion light years?
What? It's like the TOS episode where they had that regular looking dog and put a thing on him.
Aww. What the hell? They like so far out that reality itself is like messing up.
You darling. What are you doing here?
Oh, another Tasha flashback.
Oh no.
Oh my god, dude. Now who's this gonna be?
This has got to be Picard's. Or that's a Starfleet uniform. Yeah. Okay.
All right, nice.
Just that guy. That's cool.
Captain, we need your help.
What's wrong?
Don't you see what's following us?
Doing?
I like getting to see these randoms though.
No.
I'll make it good and strong. The way you like it.
No more?
But I'm always with you. You know that.
Yes, I felt that.
The lighting.
Do you understand these things? Can you tell me where my ship is? What is this place?
Captain, you were reported headed for...
Just a moment, number one.
Damn.
Damn.
Getting woken up from a dream at the best part. We haven't seen Riker have a hallucination yet.
Doesn't get drunk, doesn't get hallucinations.
No.
General quarters, red alert.
Classic alarm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Dr. Crusher again.
What did you do?
It wasn't him, it never was. It was his assistant.
What are you talking about?
Kaczynski wasn't the one controlling the warp experiment.
It was me. I honestly thought it somehow I was operating on his level.
It was also my fault, Captain. I should have realized it wasn't Kaczynski.
How could you? How could any of us?
Okay, so he's been making it possible for him to be this genius, and now, because this guy's knocked out, he's making everyone else's.
Captain's log supplemental. Our position is unknown, and our only chance of returning to the known universe.
Like, all right, I want to see more interesting. I want to see more, you know, weird thought stuff.
Nah, you just enough to get the idea down.
Yeah.
My equipment doesn't register his kind of life signs. I would have to guess exhaustion, fatigue.
Is he gonna be all right?
What is the boy doing here? If we stay here much longer, we may lose the ability to distinguish between thought and reality. Now, regardless of the risk, wake him now.
I want to know is how did those two become acquainted? The asshole and the
Yeah, like
guy?
how do you become his assistant?
Maybe he's blackmailing him because he knows he's into...
Can you get us back?
Wait, Captain, not so fast. We have an opportunity here for scientific discovery.
And we'll report our observations how? To whom?
Do you even work for Starfleet?
Yeah, you apparently know nothing.
Strange how he seems to care for you.
You will forget me in time, which is as it should be.
I was about to say, yeah, you're going to forget about this guy next week, Wesley.
It's been like one day.
But you're right in something else. He is just a boy for now. He should be encouraged, but told none of this.
I wonder if they wanted John Malkovich for that guy's role. He sounds just like him. Give me less expensive John Malkovich.
I like they like planting little seeds there, you know?
And he's destined for great things.
Just proof of a little bit more continuity.
Think! Put the flame out in your thoughts!
Who would think of this?
And they can both see it?
Yeah, good point. I guess the longer they're there, crazier it gets.
Yeah.
You can't notice what's happening outside without feeling some of that.
This is the crotch shot right here. Crotch angle.
Concentrate completely on your duty of the moment, or on the traveler, on his well-being. Think of him as...
Oh, sending thoughts. Send the traveler your thoughts and good vibes.
All your thoughts and prayers.
I feel such an abundance of well-being on the ship. It feels like quite wonderful.
That's great. Anyway.
Thank you, Dad.
There should have been something where, like, because she's an empath, she, like, really freaks out because she's seeing everyone's stuff.
Yeah, what were her thoughts? I feel we got kind of ripped off there.
And maybe a gag with Geordi or Data, since one can't see and the one's a robot.
Yeah, I totally thought we were getting with Geordi, you know, him taking off his visor
Yeah,
and
it's
everything.
like, oh, not enough time.
Who has the more ridiculous forehead out of those two?
It's not happening. It's not enough.
Yeah, the rest of the ship is confused on what's going on. They didn't hear every conversation.
Yeah, true.
What's going on? Where are we?
Send your will thoughts to the traveler. Who? Do you think he'll die after this? I think so.
Yeah, probably.
But he'll just be gone.
Yeah, he's gonna probably die just by fading away here.
This is to inform you that with your support, the Traveler has returned us to our own galaxy. However, he has now left us.
Yep, there you go.
Have the boy sent to the bridge, number 1.
Wesley Crusher, report to the bridge. On the double.
Warp 5, sir.
On that same heading, sir.
Ah, Wesley. Come on the bridge.
Would have been great as soon as they said Wesley come to the bridge, the elevator opens right away.
Oh, he was already there?
Yeah.
Captain, not allowed. Your order. That's true. Well, I can't waive them again. Only commissioned officers.
Quite all right, sir. I understand.
Please don't interrupt me, Wesley. For outstanding performance in the best Starfleet tradition, Wesley Crusher is made acting ensign with the duties and privileges of that rank. The earliest opportunity, your entrance application for Starfleet Academy will be tendered. Until then, you will learn this ship, every operation, every function.
Pretty quick for some character growth like that.
Why, someone else? Or would you rather tell her about this, Wes?
If you don't mind, sir, I'd like to sit here for a while. I'll tell her later.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Dr. Crusher. What?
I told you, you're going to medical school.
Hey, did you enjoy that reaction? You did? Well, guess what? You can let us know by liking the video down below. And guess what? It's absolutely free. Now stay tuned for our discussion.
I want to do that for everyone.
So how does it feel that this child has gone further in his career than either of us? After 6 episodes.
You know, this white privileged kid, you know.
Don't forget the nepotism.
I was gonna this nepo baby, you know.
Yeah, I do really like the character growth though, and the fact that we're getting it this early, I think just shows that, look, it's an episodic show, but there's going to be some character growth here, and I don't think, you know, already based on this, I don't expect Wesley to just be the annoying kid on the Enterprise the whole show, which I kind of thought that's what he was going to do, or he would, you know, be there for 2 seasons and then, like, you know, become 20 years old and not be on the show anymore. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I think they're already integrating him into the crew, which is nice. And all around, great character growth already in the show. That's probably the thing I enjoyed most about this, especially with the whole thing with the Traveler kind of laying the seeds for, you know, saying that Wesley has this amazing potential.
You have it in your power to encourage him without interfering.
Regardless of how much we remember this episode specifically and everything that happens, I'm sure we'll both remember kind of this is like the beginning of Wesley being a real character, kind of.
Yeah, I'm sure he's destined for something. Will this guy ever come back? Is this traveler really dead? Love those questions. Yeah, I do love the character growth with Picard and Wesley and all stuff like that, and Wesley becoming an official ensign and being very valuable. I think he's saved our butts twice so far. But I think the highlight of this episode is just the tension, that that classic just people in a room talking tension. Just right off the rip, this guy beams in. It's like, oh boy, here we go. Felt very like, oh god, very Doomsday Machine-esque, like this effing guy, or just any officer from Starfleet that beams aboard. It's like, oh god, here we go. As annoying as it was, it felt very classic.
Yeah.
And the guy's a doofus.
Yeah, it took that twist where once we find out it's actually this assistant that's doing everything and he's a fraud, it gave his character a nice wrinkle there to where by the end he was no longer this like Starfleet, douchebag. He was something different.
I honestly thought it was me. I thought somehow I was operating on his level.
I really liked the idea of where this episode went. This is another one where in like the beginning where it was going, and then they go out, to where no one has gone before. I'm like, oh, the whole story's going to be we got to get back. And that was the story. But I didn't expect the whole reality shifting because of people's thoughts.
From home.
And I really enjoyed that. Wish we would have seen more of it.
Yeah, it was good for like a couple gags. We also got a great moment with Picard and his mom. It could have been all gags, you know what I mean? But I like how it was also some good stuff in there too, like good, like serious stuff.
Yeah,
but we needed more.
Yeah, and I unfortunately, I just have kind of flipped. At first, when it was showing these random characters, I was like, oh, cool, we get to see like these random characters do little stuff. But now it's kind of like, well, we didn't see anything with Geordi, anything with Data, anything with Troy, Riker. It's like, but we saw these other random characters. Keep in the random characters, but give us something with the others as well. And there was still plenty of time in the episode when they stopped doing it. Like, right when Picard was like, it's your thoughts, control your thoughts, we just didn't see anything else. And it's like, you could have still, I feel like they got too bogged down in, like, the Traveler giving all of his exposition, when at the end of the day, his character doesn't, like, really matter. Like, we get it. We understand what he is. You know what I mean?
And we figure out, like, okay, he was able to manipulate, ability, because this guy wanted to create this thing, so we ended up creating it. And it was like this weird mutual relationship where this traveler gets to travel with us, or travel this galaxy, and this guy gets to be, the guy that, created this new thing. Like, we figured that out, but then, like, after we figure it out, it's like a little bit too much of him just, you know what I mean? And him being creepy with Wesley.
Just all sick. I think it just unfortunately came down to they didn't have enough time, and they really wanted to hammer home this Traveler and Wesley story. I don't think you needed as much time dedicated to that as they did. So that's where I would have reallocated it. But the story on its own, I enjoyed.
Traveler came off a little creepy at sometimes with Wes, but...
This was also the first episode of this show where I feel like the crew does something kind of like remarkable in the sense of like they go so far out where no one has gone before. In TOS, we see so many episodes where they're like, this has never happened before. No one in Starfleet's ever done this before. So we finally get to see, I feel like, something like that in TNG where it's like, no one's been out this far and now we have to get back. I like that. That was an interesting part of the story. But I'm glad it wasn't the entire story, but I did like that element. I will, once again, say I enjoyed this episode, and where are the bad episodes? But I will make a concession. I don't know if any of these episodes I have fallen in love with yet. I really like the show, and I'm digging it. I'm super excited for every episode. I haven't disliked any of them either, but I'm still waiting for when's that episode gonna come and be amazing? And I think maybe, while so far I have a better opinion than it seems like a lot of people in season 1, I am still waiting for that, knock my socks off episode that blows me away.
Well, we've heard what people said about season 1 and 2, so it might be a bit, Josh. But yeah, I agree that these are all enjoyable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
None of them are falling asleep or, frustrating. And none of them are a naked time, a city on the edge of forever. None of them are like, like where's this been all my life?
It feels like we're just laying groundwork. Like we're just setting an extremely solid foundation. And unlike other stuff we watch, we're not stopping after the first season. Like we're committed. We're watching it. So I'm okay with laying that groundwork, in this season. And I just feel like it's different in the sense that TOS was just like every single episode. It can either be one of the best things you've ever seen, or it can be shit, or it can just be decent.
That's true.
And maybe we'll get there eventually with this show. But right now it just feels like how a lot of TV shows feel, which is just like that groundwork, get to know the characters, here's some info, and
a little
here's
safe, a little safe.
Yeah, a little safe, yeah, it's a good word. And like, here are some interesting stories, but like, we're not going all out on any of them yet. Like, we're still just kind of, yeah, safe is a great way to put it, yeah.
Another great scene here with Picard just taking in everyone's input about what to do. Just like one by one, everyone chimes in.
What are our options, really? I mean, if this guy can't get us back, who will?
Captain, why not avail ourselves of this opportunity for study?
And I even like after he decides what to do, when he tells him to go, try again, to go backwards, some of the crew is like, not disappointed, but they're like nervous, like the ones who voice that's not what they wanted to try. It's just nice getting to feel that character, in there. All right, we're going to jump into our patron takes. This is where our patrons get to give us their thoughts about the episode for us to respond to, as well as any questions they have for us or predictions about how we are going to think of the episode.
I got one from Jeffrey Linehan. This is the heart of any Star Trek. It's encapsulated in the scene where Picard meets his dead mother. She says, "Is this the end of the universe, or do you see it as the beginning of it?" Yeah, I totally agree. Fantastic.
This one is from Glenn Johnson Barnes. In my opinion, this is the first actually good Star Trek TNG episode. Turning Wesley into boy genius was kind of a tired trope, but Will Wheaton is actually good here, and the rest of the cast rises to the occasion also. Yeah, I don't know if I would say it's the first actually good episode. I mean, let me ask you this. We won't do this every single episode, but like, is this your favorite episode so far, or no?
I don't even know if I can pick a favorite, dude.
Yeah. They all seem very same level to me.
Yeah, you know what? My favorite is the one with the lingo.
I thought halfway through this episode, like, oh, this one, like, maybe my favorite. I really liked where they were going with the whole thought stuff, and then with the scene with, the scene with Picard and his mother is probably one of the better scenes so far in the show. Small sample size, but it just, unfortunately, like, again, just like didn't hit that like next level, like, oh my God, I'm blown away moment that I'm still waiting for.
This one's from Steven Johnson. Get that child away from that pervert. I'm glad someone else picked up on that, because there's a couple times where I'm like, okay, back up.
That was weird. But when you see where they're going at the end of the episode, you get it. You get what they're going for.
Yeah, there's a reason for it. It's like, okay, this kid's special. But yeah, just the way it was portrayed a little bit. I'm like, okay.
Here's from Anthony Bernacci. He says, I agree with the fan consensus that this is the best episode since Farpoint and a highlight of Season 1. The hallucinatory imagery is outstanding. Question, do you think the series is building up the Wesley character in a way that alienates the audience from him? And then he also says, I predict your mouths will drop wide open when Picard nearly steps out of the turbo lift into empty space. That's also a great moment.
I totally forgot about that. Yeah, and I think they did, or at least mine did. Do you think in the sense, like, okay, like, they're pushing this guy, but we're not ready for it? Like,
for Wesley?
Yeah, like that. You know what I mean? Like, they're pushing that guy that the crowd doesn't really like.
I do feel like one of the earlier comments said this. I do feel like it is a bit of a trope, especially in this time where it's like, oh, you have the established crew and then the young kid who's really smart and is, so I've seen that before. I don't know if I would say I'm alienated from him, but I think that it's all about, are they going to pay it off? Like, if the series is, the series goes on, he can either become a really good character or like a shitty one that never lives up to the expectations. So I think it's way too early to tell. But right now, I wouldn't say I feel alienated from him or any disdain for him. If anything, I've come around to him a little bit.
Yeah, I think we just needed some character flaws, because if he's just like perfect boy genius all the time,
well, he's an annoying kid and everyone hates him on the ship basically.
I guess his flaw is that he's a kid and annoying. So I guess it kind of works. I wouldn't feel alienated from him. I mean, I don't really relate to him at all.
Yeah.
But I relate more to the Enterprise crew, because, you know, we're familiar with how that works. I mean, we never, any experience with children we've had on the Enterprise, we have not liked for the most part. So it's kind of like that, you know, like nagging PTSD of, you know, a kid in Star Trek. It's like, oh God, you know, that's in the back of my mind, but he's growing on me a little bit.
Yeah, it just needs more time, but I agree. I think it's a little bit hard to relate to a Nepo baby, so.
Yeah.
He just takes it off.
They're just waiting there for one of these things to walk by.